Good? Okay.
Ice spray, give you all what your life is. I know what I say. Give me baby girl another night, yeah. When you want something, come on, you can ask and I never say no. You know what I say. Upgrade and nice, I can get you some. I met a girl from the UK. She a dime, she a cutie. I tell her come if she wanna see me. She love the green and she love when it rains. She said bring up the money from the ATM. Tell your mom from your ATM. Me no back, you go shopping with your ATM. Go lunch with your ATM. The way back and clothes from your ATM. Wanna glow every time you come in. Be the one with the bag when you are with your friends now. Oh no no no. Yeah, every time she wants something, she call and check in. You know, I answer when you call and check in. Tell me what's the case, what's the matter? Tell me what's your name, looking fantastic. Dark skin like Fanta. Danger how she move, no banta. Hey, hey, Tepe, ninja tombong banta, yeah, maybe. You got time into, got time for me to, baby, nice walk or no. I met a girl from the UK. She a dime, she a cutie. I tell her come if she wanna see me. She love the green and she love when it rains. She said bring out the money from the ATM. Tell your mom from your ATM. Me no back, you go shopping with your ATM. Go lunch with your ATM. The way bags and clothes from your ATM. Wanna glow every time you come in. Be the one with the bag when you are with your friends now. With your friends now. Girl up for my key, all you really want is my key, Girl want me to wifey, I don't really show nothing but love, Girl up for my key, all you really want is my key, Girl want me to wifey, I don't really show nothing but love. Baby girl, I like it how you move, moving like the ocean. Yeah, she deep like the ocean. She got waves in the hair just like the ocean. Yeah, like the ocean. Keep it in nose with my man, some distance from the ocean. Wavy like the ocean, baby. Yeah, you looking like the ocean. Deep in my pocket like the ocean. She said bring out the money from the ATM. Tell your mom from your ATM. Me no back, you go shopping with your ATM. Go lunch with your ATM. The way bags and clothes from your ATM. Wanna glow every time you come in. Be the one with the bag when you are with your friends now. Oh no no no. Girl up for my key, all you really want is my key, Girl want me to wifey, I don't really show nothing but love, Girl up for my key, all you really want is my key, Girl want me to wifey, I don't really show nothing but love, Bobby, hey Bobby.
I could really use a change of scenery. Yeah. Everybody smoking all the greenery. Yeah. Close the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Pills to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you. From the inside out, so right now. Say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm free, can't nobody take me here. And now, it's my time to run.
You should have come back. Let me just move these things out the way. And
we told Alicia she's getting so big, we do this to her just to mess with her a little bit, okay? That's what you do to superstar DJs, to bring them down just a little bit. I know I have that happen at parties all the time. You know, they tell you, oh, yeah, that board works great. Unbeknownst, the fader doesn't work. Yeah.
There you go.
That's how it rolls.
DJ Edit, a.k.a. Asian Tony Stark, as you always do, let us know, like, the audio needs to be up or down because, you know, I'm not monitoring today. I left my in-ear monitors in the truck, so I got to use these Apple joints. Hey, we lost her. Hopefully she comes back.
Yeah, we did. Maybe she's rebooting, hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, and got to send a shout-out to my boy, Big T's. He's here today, checking us out from southern Utah. Man, I don't know why I cannot get my chat things to stay the same size.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been had issues. Are you running it off the Restream or are you running it off of Ecamm? Because
I'm pulling it from
everything
Ecamm
came in from
data.
Ecamm for me earlier and worked great. Not so much on Restream. So you could turn your mic up a little bit. You can bring your mic up a little bit too, Doc, if you want. Just a hair.
Oh, you can hear that?
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you.
All right, there we go.
Is that a gate I'm hearing from you or from me? I got a fan running in the. I got two fans going in the background. It's hot as can be here.
It's absolutely silent in the basement, except for the person I got taped up back there.
Yeah, I know. That's that pounding. That's that. Let me out. All right, what's up, everybody? I am Scott Smoking Silz, along with my man Doc Rock, who is coming to you from Hawaii, the beautiful Hawaii. And we have a very special guest with us today. It's DeeJay Alicia, and we're having a little technical difficulty. Skype has not been cooperating as much as we'd like today. I had some problems earlier with my show that I do for the referees, but, you know, we will get her. She's on board. I had a nice conversation with her the other day on her channel. Here she comes. Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes!
I can hear you now. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Oh, yeah. You got rid of AT&T. I can hear you now.
Look, I had to download it on a whole different computer.
Yeah, I know. It's been great. It forced me because I run the show. When we do Skype, guys, for any of you out there that are streaming, we have to run an older version of Skype. And so that was fine. My show, after I got it up and running, all good. But then when Doc sends the link, because he runs the show from Hawaii, Skype forced me into an update to a newer version. So I had to reboot the computer just like you did. And, you know, now we're all here, so it's all good. It's great to see you again. How you doing?
I know, right? It feels like it's been like 4 days since I've seen you.
You know, I think that's exactly right. We had a really nice conversation for about a half hour or so the other day. You know, Alicia's a big streaming DJ and does a lot of really cool stuff. And she's one of the first people who's really teamed up and done it as a team where she's got like a group. She really brings you the festival and the club vibe, you know, every time that she comes on and does this. And I met Alicia. Well, you sent me a couple pictures. So she posted a promo last night for this doc. And the picture was taken, for those of you that are house heads, Bruce Ivory is a pretty well-known Chicago producer. And he's got a record that I still play to this day. His version of Harlem from is absolutely the best. That's my favorite, one of my favorite songs altogether. So he did a great job on it. House mix of Harlem. And it's Bill Withers, for those of you that don't know. And it's technically, I don't think it's called Harlem. I think it's like something else, but we know it as Harlem. Right. At any rate, so we were at a party at his house for his birthday, all playing in the backyard. And, you know, there were a couple really nice photos taken. I asked Alicia if she'd take a photo with me, and she had one earlier of me standing there, like getting ready to go on. I never ended up playing that night because it started to rain. And it was in the backyard with like this minimal tent. I'm like, I really don't want to die back here tonight.
everybody's been playing for hours. It's great. I had a great time. I'm going back home. I think, were we in the Wild Hundreds? Is that where he's located? Yeah. So, I mean, it was late night. I mean, it was like, all right, enough is it's been a great party. We'll just leave it at that. So Alicia kind of closed it up for us. And, that's how I met Alicia. And Alicia and I have been friends basically for years now, about 8 years or whatever. I've worked some other gigs with her. We've had her on at the Field Museum, and we did a few of the major house music events. She is really one of the leaders. And I don't want to put you as a female DJ. I mean, you're a great DJ no matter what, and I need to make that clear. But yeah, you're killing it. You are playing on all the big shows. You play with all the big name DJs. You're always on point with your music. I love what you do. I'm a fan. What can I tell you? I'm gonna put it right there. So, talk to us a little bit about the show that you've been doing, and what your plans are moving forward with streaming as things continue to evolve.
Well, first of all, I think this is partially your fault. This DJ thing.
That's what I keep telling them.
I know, right?
Blame it on me. I know.
So as a teenager, I really couldn't go out a lot. Catholic school girl, my mom kept me close to home. So what I used to do was sit on the porch with my friends and listen to BMX. So we would listen to BMX, and then I used to do this thing called, I think a lot of people did it, they just won't admit it. I used to call it pause mixing, where a song would come on or whatever, and you record it, and then like, okay, maybe I only want a little of that song, so I'll pause it on the beat and then bring it back in toward the end of the song. It was a lot of fun. But so fast forward to today, I was enjoying finally being able to travel outside of Chicago, and I had this awesome summer lined up with events out of town every single month. Every single month I had somewhere to go out of town to play. Wow. And then COVID happened. So we were like, okay, what do we do now? And I think all the DJs were kind of twiddling their thumbs. A couple of people just jumped out there and kind of did lives on their phones and stuff like that or whatever. Yep. But I think you and I kind of both laid back. Vince Adams, we kind of laid back and looked at the technology and how we can most professionally bring it, the club vibe to doing lives. So I got with DJ Box, and we collaborated, and we do a show on Saturday nights. And we're thankful for you to start the group that you started, the DJ Streaming Live group, because that gave people a place to go, like to find out where their favorite DJ is. And Twitch has been like a godsend at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. I mean, we're up to over 2,000 people now in the group. Yeah. And, if you're watching, even if you're not a DJ, you're more than welcome to join the group, because you can communicate with the people that are doing the shows. You can find out exactly where they're playing. And, that's how I ended up meeting Doc, believe it or not. So Doc and I connected. We started with Ecamm about the same time. Not with them, but, I mean, we started using their software. And I got into a conversation with Doc one night, and we connected and did a little live stream together. And I was like, wow, this guy is just really talented. He's very bright. He knows so much about the technology. And really, Doc is really deep. I mean, he gets it. He knows it. And I'm always blown away by what I've learned from him. And I just felt, he's got a DJ background. He comes from New York. We hit it off pretty well on these streams. I'm like, and this is the guy to do this show with me. And I had to beg him. I mean, I basically begged Doc. I stayed on him for weeks. Mm-hmm. That, man, let's do this. I think this could be really cool, because I think he just brings so much to the table. And he runs the show out of Hawaii for us, so I can actually sit back and relax. When I do the referee show, I run all the technology here. Right. But something big came up today, and it happened while we were live on the air. We do this ref show for you guys that like hockey. We do this at noon, and I don't mean to change the subject up, but something major. Scott. Yeah, it's called Ref Room, okay? And, basically the governor today came on, and he's put a halt to sports in Illinois. He did it while we were on the air. And, hockey is going away for us August 15th as our like all amateur sports, with the exception, and I haven't read this, so please don't take my word as the gospel. Go look at what's going on. But he took everything except collegiate and professional sports off the table. So you're going to be able to go, like for the hockey players, they can go to the rink, but they can't participate in any kind of contact, which means there's no games, which means as a referee, I'm unemployed again. So I've been unemployed now as a DJ really since the beginning of the year, because we stopped working shows at the end of December. That's kind of it for us. Yeah. We all book shows during January, February, and March and get ready for the spring and the summer. Well, my February and March weddings canceled because of COVID. And then we had, we lost all of our May and June wedding dates. We lost all the school functions. One of our friends, Anthony, he had 140 proms on the books. Wow. 140 proms, all canceled.
How do you do 140 proms without losing your
That's
mind?
really all they do. So,
one day at a time.
So guys, we're talking, we are always talking DJs. So when we started this show, we really were 100% on the streaming tip, but everything evolves, and really, we're all DJs at the end of the day. We all do events. We all work in a club. We do the streams. It's part of our bloodline. So we are going to be talking music. We're going to be talking DJ life, and this is DJ life. I mean, this is what we are up against right now. And, we're coming into a situation where unemployment is running out. It's been tough as we work in an independent contractor world. That's just the reality of the music and entertainment industry. It's a 1099 world. It's a contractor world. And so, it took 3 months to get unemployment for people in our industry, after the pandemic occurred, and now it's running out, and now they don't even want to renew it to what it was. I mean, they're taking all of our businesses away, but what are we going to do? I mean, how are we supposed to make a living, people? It's bad.
And my homie works at Target now. And it doesn't mean he still can't spin, but he work at Target in the daytime, and then he go do his streaming joints at night. I mean, it's funny because we all are like processing this information. Everybody's processing it differently, and the one thing different about this situation is we do have the social media, the ability to just open up a stream and do our own thing, and sort of reinvent the wheel for some stuff, like guys that are spinning into exercise classes, and he's only making a little cake. Hey, but some cake is better than no cake, right? When you starving, like enough to buy a case of ramen is better than nothing. But then you also got If you get buried into what's happening into the news and stuff like that, it'll probably depress you. So what we've always been good at as DJs, and the reason why people come to the club is they come to our club. We are that escape from the BS. We are the escape from the rigmarole. The ability to come out there and do a couple spins on the dance floor, holler with your people, take your shots or whatever. Like that's what we do for folks. So right now we are the medicinal component of this for folks, right? So when they get a chance to open up their Twitch and then see Alicia or see Vince or see you or James or guys who are up here spinning, you guys are that temporary distraction from what's popping, back in the day. But at the end of the day, too, though, what I keep trying to stress into folks is, when our great-grandparents went through this with the Depression, they didn't have nothing, bro. They had the radio.
Yeah.
And even then, not everybody had the radio. You had one person. I'm from the hood. You had that one person on the block with a Philco. Everybody had to go to Miss Jenkins' house and sit on the floor to hear that one, Sunday show. So count your blessings. You can't look at it as like it's caving. It's like when y'all cave, I'm a caveman. Hey, I dig my shit out. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I'm going to find a way. I'm that dude.
It's an adult show.
I'm going to find a way. I don't care what way, shape, or form, but I'm going to find a way. And so I thought, when Scott was like, let's do this show, sure, here's a chance for me to help people, not only from the tech side, because I'm ex-military, because I have actually seen what it looks like to almost die every single day, I can talk to you from the mental side. Like, I got to get you out your mental state and get you back to your DJ state, because that's what we do. We happiest when we making music, when we making folks dance.
I'm happy. We are going back to doing events this weekend. But, you know, we're still getting the cancellations. I had another wedding for October cancel. All my October weddings have now canceled, basically. And it's like, we're open for business, people. I know it's not what you signed up for, but, you know, we don't sell you a party based on the number of guests you're having. We show up to the event, and if it's packed, great. That's the way it works. Hopefully it will be packed. But, you know, you can only have 50. You still got a party. That's what it is. So that's what we do.
Hey, what you do is
but
you
yeah,
do 50
it's
in
different
3
times.
locations. Do 50 in 3 separate locations and combine them together through cameras.
Well, we are doing that this week because we actually have 2 venues with 2 different addresses, and they are going to be streamed. So people will be in one venue, and they will get a stream of, for example, one is going to be the ceremony in a downstairs venue at a different address. And so we will stream the ceremony to the other venue upstairs where the reception will take place, and vice versa. Once the reception starts, then we will stream, you know, the toasts and the introductions and the first dance and all that stuff over to the other building so people can enjoy it. And then we are tying the systems together. We're going to rewire them so that we can actually just provide the same music so everybody hears the same thing. Right. So, you know, with like a 10-minute changeover, toast, we can make that happen.
One of your viewers just made a comment, Terrence. I was thinking the same thing, that we have to find a new normal. I've always believed in multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to have like different places for money to come in. And as DJs, if people will come out and see us and pay to come see us, then we have to find some kind of way to monetize our streaming. Like, you know, we're still kind of feeling our way out right now. You know, people putting cash apps up and stuff like that. But it should be an event, like with a link. The Chosen Few just did a drive-in thing.
Yep.
So the people
great idea.
Great
idea. You know, we just had Alan King on the show a couple of weeks ago, and you know, verbally, they've committed that Wayne Williams will join us in the next couple weeks. I've asked to get Wayne on, and he seemed to be, you know, down for that. At least when I spoke to Alan, he was like, "Yeah, we can make that happen, no problem." So I'm looking forward to that. And you know, these guys are great, man. I mean, they are doing some different things, and people are adjusting and switching it up, and you know, hats off to them.
Right.
You know, but I am hearing.
If we put together an event like we just joined each other on this call, we could put together something where people can actually pay for the link or something like that. And you know what I mean? But we have to find a new normal, because by looking at our leadership and the way things are going, it doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon. So we got to be savvy about how
November 4th, it goes away. You get your saline shot. You get
Alicia,
4 different saline shots with an ounce in each one of them. Oh my God! You get the cure for this, the cure for this, the cure for that. So I hope that's the case.
Alicia, I got one for you. My homie Tease, he just said that we got to do something like on-demand DJ streams or something like that. And it's funny to me because when you say Terrence, he probably ducked, because the only person that calls him that is his mama. We all call him Tease.
That's his name.
I know. And it's funny because like he's a big dude. I call him my big little brother because he's a huge dude. And it's funny because, you know, we've always called him Big Tease because he was so huge for his size. Like I used to sneak him into the club when he was like 14 and he would be there hanging out. But it's funny when you say Terrence, he probably ducked and thought the slipper was coming.
I'm sorry, Big T.
Big T. Big T.
You got him scared.
You gotta go deep. Big T.
I love you, brother. I'm just messing with you.
All right. Well, thank you.
So how are
you
doing
Terrence.
your events, Alicia?
So right now we were first we were doing them separately at first. Box was at his house, I was at my house, and Twitch has a feature on it called Raid. So like if Scott is doing a show and he wants to hand off the people in his chat to me, he can just hit the raid and all those people will get shifted over to my Twitch. So we were doing that at first. So as everything started lifting a little bit and you can have gatherings of 10 people or more, he started coming over here. So we just do it over here. And, you know, a lot of times we go long because we're, you know, together doing it. But this Saturday, we're going to try doing the show from a location. So we're doing a party, and they kind of got us isolated in this area above the yard. Everybody's going to be social distanced in the yard, and we're going to stream live from there. So, you know, we're just trying to evolve and find different ways to, you know, still bring the show.
Are you charging for this stream? Or are you doing as a pay-per-view or?
So it's a young lady that's been on our stream religiously ever since we started the show. So it's her birthday party.
Oh, nice.
Right. So we agreed to come and do her birthday party, and she's got like this second floor balcony, and we'll be up there, and you know, everybody will be socially distanced in her yard.
And a happy birthday to you, because you still have your balloons back there.
I was going to say, I seen her balloons popping in the
Those
back.
are the balloons that never die, people. They never go away. Those things have been there for weeks now. They're coming around on the next birthday. They actually look great back there because it's good colors, so it's a nice backdrop.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know what I think would be I haven't seen or heard of anyone trying it yet. But I wonder if we could get away with like going to like a stadium or something, right? Where you got this gigantic football field, and it'd be like, okay, with the amount of space we got here, we should be able to fit 500-600 people at 10 feet apart. So, like, I wonder if you could talk in one of the stadiums or something that just lets you do something like right in the middle of the field where you can kind of stretch it out.
I'm actually doing that, but not in Chicago. I'm doing it in Detroit.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. So they got a baseball field diamond close to the downtown area.
Yeah,
they do. And it's good that you're using it for that because their baseball team sucks. Go Red Sox.
I didn't say that, Detroit.
Right.
I did. Hey, I'm
Setting
still
it off
I'm still
in the
I'm
big
still
D.
Big Poppy.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Hey, that means they can
all right,
use,
well, we
you
just
can use
lost
the White
all our
Sox
Michigan
field for
viewers.
that too.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, wait, while I'm causing trouble, you could do that in the White Sox field too.
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's do a Cubs Sox. We'll get rid of everybody all on one line here. We'll be done in like 2 minutes, okay? No, I'm actually excited that they're back. But, I mean, you know, even with what's going on, it's questionable. The Marlins just lost a big portion of their team and are being, I guess, you know, postponed or suspended for a few days to see if they can they bring players in, I guess, from other parts of the country and try to reestablish and make sure that they're competitive. But, you know, I don't know. Did you guys see? I didn't get to see it, but Pritzker was on earlier. And so I'm just wondering if we've had any changes in the event business with this new announcement, or if it was strictly over sports, because they pushed Illinois pushed a meeting back by a week to have a decision for sports. So, I mean, based on what's going around the country, you know, we've now seen Wisconsin being put on the quarantine list for people in Chicago. You can't come into Chicago if you're from Wisconsin. You know, I mean, I even use DJs out of Wisconsin sometimes. So, I mean, this is going to get interesting because a lot of the events, I've got events that have moved to Wisconsin and Indiana. So, you know, now that means if I go do their event, I can't work for 2 weeks. So this is really, I mean, we have never seen anything like this. It's just getting crazier by the moment. You know what I mean? So you were going to go to, where were you doing your events out of state? Where were you scheduled to play like monthly, Alicia?
I had events like in New York. I had one in Texas. I was going to Terry Hunter's thing in the Dominican.
Is that a cruise or is that a
no, it was just a trip.
I got invited on a cruise deal, you know, where they wanted to book me, and I passed on that because not even because of the COVID. I just don't want to be tied down for all those days in one spot. I can't do it.
I looked at it as a paid vacation. I was supposed to be doing the house music cruise, and it was 7 days. You probably turned it down. I probably got it because you turned it down. Thanks, Scott.
No, I get your leftovers, Alicia. Okay, I mean, you know, that's the way it works here. I get everybody's leftovers. I'm a second-class citizen. Just know that.
I can't do the cruise thing.
Ask any of the Hot Mix 5. They'll tell you I am the second-class citizen.
Y'all can't get me stuck in the boat for that long. And it's not like I'm not afraid of water and I can swim in the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But just to be stuck in some spot where I can't be like, all right, I'm done. I'm ready to go.
It's COVID without COVID because you can't leave the boat. You're stuck. It's like a 7-day quarantine on the boat, even though it's fun.
But we were stopping. That was the great thing because I didn't want to be stuck on a boat either.
Yeah.
And they were stopping. Terry Hunter just texted me. Hey, Terry.
Hey, Terry. For those of you that don't know Terry Hunter, he is one of the top producers in the world. He is based here in Chicago. He is one of the chosen few, and he's a good friend of Alicia's and mine and everybody else here.
I am on Terry's label.
Well, see, there you go. I'm not on Terry's label.
I'm on Terry's label.
I said I'm not on Terry's label. See, I'm a second-class citizen. Terry.
We need Scott on the label.
It's called the second-class Scottison.
Second-class citizen label, yeah. No, I'm actually on Matt Nee's label on Compute. I've been on it for years, so that's my little hangout when I decide I want to do music. It's that's never been my biggest priority. I know that's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. So many DJs only aspire to do music. So I like all the other technology stuff. I love being in the studios, but I like doing different things. So that's been my thing. That's why I did the radio for so many years and the production and all that good stuff and the imaging. Yeah. And I like to talk. I can't talk on those records, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I could be a rapper. There you go. That'd be fun.
Hey, you got to remember, Scott, one of the greatest house records ever created is just a dude talking. I am, you see. I am the creator.
I am the creator, yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of the preacher.
Really?
The preacher. He called me. He wanted to play with us when we did the Field Museum. You know that. He called me up. I had never spoken to the preacher. I was blown away that was the preacher because, that is like probably, I don't know, is that one of the biggest house records ever? It's got to be without even being a record.
I say it's one of the
greatest intro
ever.
Drop.
Ever. It's just insane.
I am the creator, and this is my house. And my house music. And there is no other house music except my house music.
Thank you.
And that's why we can't let you do records.
And this is fresh.
Okay, we're supposed to do
a show,
but I
botched those lyrics. Okay, on the record, I've heard like 2 million times at least.
Dude, we're supposed to be doing the show, but Alicia's laugh is infectious, so I can't even process right now. I'm just cracking up laughing every time she laughs.
Yeah, well, that's why we got Alicia here. Alicia is a personality. We love her.
That's awesome. Robert said he's going to trademark that phrase, second-class Scottison.
Yep.
That's
That's me.
T-shirt.
Second-class citizen. That and duct tape doesn't fix stupidity.
Oh, Lord.
It's the only thing it doesn't fix, right?
It might amplify it, kind of thinking.
Yeah, probably will. Probably will.
Terry texted her again.
So let's talk about doing a festival, Alicia. Let's talk about it right in front of everybody here, because I'm sure you have some ideas. What would you like to see happen with the streaming and under the circumstances that we're in right now? What do you think would be a great festival? What do you think we could do that would be different, that could work during these times?
Kind of what Doc was saying. I was just, find a venue and get everybody situated where they can be a distance apart from each other and do something. Because I'm seeing I've done all the festivals that I usually do annually. I've been doing them virtually. Like I did Taste of Randolph, and we just went over the program director's house. And, everybody came in and he took temperature checks and all that stuff like that. But I think if we could get like a venue, like with a nice backdrop of downtown or something like that, and stream it and have people actually there. Because I actually saw, I think Bad Boy Bill did something at Navy Pier. It was just him. I did an event. I did something for Pride weekend at Navy Pier. And I was a little nervous because I thought it was going to be like super crowded and, super crazy. But it was just like, it was chill. They had DJs throughout Navy Pier, like when you enter, one in the middle, and then one in the back, and people kind of spread out.
Well, actually, that rooftop there would be a great place. That's like the largest rooftop in the world. Mm-hmm. You could put a couple DJs in there. I don't know if they're open because of the situation, like maybe 25% or whatever the case may be. But, Navy Pier is spread out. And
of course, what was interesting with Navy Pier is that I didn't realize, because my back was turned until later on, I was DJing for the people that were walking and whatever. And when I turned around, it was like boats. It was like people in boats.
Yeah.
all
They
behind.
pull up
Well,
behind
you know
you.
what would be a good spot then?
That's good.
So you know what would be a good spot? That North Avenue boat at the beach, where they serve food and all kinds of stuff. They've got a balcony up there. And I actually did this one year for the Stefani restaurant group. We were set up there and we played, and all the people walking by the beach and everything, it's a party for them, but then people could come upstairs and eat and drink. So you could do something like that now, do it at 25%. There's plenty of room on those beach areas to spread out. Thing is, can you get the city to let you do that, because it will be bringing people in. So, that's the big thing. Right. I think we'd be better off at a private venue of some sort. If you could get a, some sort of a music theater setting, or even a large parking lot would work. Honestly, something like that. I mean, there's got to be something that we could get and put together. So I think it'd be a lot of fun.
We're being super creative. It's up to some of these people that own these venues to start being super creative as well, because they're just not putting their thinking caps on. They got all this space. They're not trying to figure out how to, manage the space. Some people have patios, then they're trying to do stuff on patios, but I think
the one place that had the patio going pretty well got shut down. Yeah, the bar over in the West Loop area, right off the Eisenhower at Racine. Right. I don't want to mention the name because that's not fair.
You don't have to, but they had a lot of people. It's a popular place. You got to find some kind of way to regulate, the amount of attendees.
Yeah. Well, you need the bigger space. That's the problem. It just becomes too tight of an area. I think if we did have the larger space, I mean, I can think of a couple of events we've done where the room was so big and we didn't have enough people in there. It was social distancing before its time,
Right. But that place actually has a parking lot that's attached to their patio area. They could have just moved made the whole parking lot accessible instead of. But I don't own the venue, so what can I say?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm not sure what area you live in, but I could tell you I'm in Logan Square. And I'm very surprised. Some of the not venues, but some of the restaurants and coffee shops are just going to open this week. They are opening. One just opened like 2 days ago. One of the real nice restaurants here. They're opening tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, they're opening tomorrow. They've been closed all this time. I mean, they didn't even make an effort. And they have a nice outdoor space. They have plenty of room for the tables. So they could have been doing business all along, and I guess they just chose to wait it out, not even do it, and now they're coming back. I wonder if it's, what the motivation for that is, if they just feel like they can't do the volume they need in order to survive. I mean, they only opened up, I think, 1 or 2 weekends where they sold, to-go food when the restaurants themselves weren't even open, and restaurateurs were, scrambling, finding a way to, try to make some money, make ends meet, and, keep things alive, keep the name out there and keep it going. So, yeah, it's definitely a change. Now, with this going on, again, I haven't seen the Pritzker thing, so I don't know if he addressed anything, but I got to think if they're shutting the high school sports down and all the amateur sports that, we're probably a ways away from that, opening of bars, or are we going to go backwards? Are we going to go back to, level 3 or what do they call it? Phase 3 to be official. If that's coming, because they've got so many cases everywhere else. The other states don't seem to be doing as well as us, even though we've had a little uptick. But Indiana, man, they're struggling over there right now. So, we'll see. They did open bars and restaurants. And so, some of our counterparts have gone back to work. But, I heard of a wedding. One of my DJ friends, he did not work that wedding, but he sells hot dog. He has a hot dog cart. They had 300 people at a wedding in Lamont. One room. So it's like the rules don't seem to apply to everybody, and not everybody's following the rules. And I get that, because at the end of the day, people need to eat. They need to keep a roof over their head. So, it's really tough again for our industry and what we're going to do moving forward. So, if any of you guys out there that are watching the show, if you have some ideas that you want to share with our fellow DJs that are out there that are doing streams and that are, kind of trying to find their way through this time, I'm sure they'd love to hear your ideas, or share them on Facebook. Please, go into our DJs live streaming group and post some comments up there or some suggestions. And you might be surprised. You might have some guys that would be willing to jump in with you if maybe you're not, one of the touring DJs, but, maybe one of those touring DJs would be interested in, taking your idea with you and running with it. And this could be a great opportunity for some of you guys, just like streaming has been a great opportunity to come in from, a level playing field to now go to another playing field, even higher, that, you could possibly be making some money from and building those relationships that when things do open back up again, you'll end up getting some business out of that. And that would be a great thing for all of our DJs out there. And a great way to, mentor some newer people and help them as they continue the path with our music that we started so many years ago.
Here's how you do touring DJs, and people have been sleeping on this, okay? Because everyone's focused on what's happening between the East Coast and the West Coast, and all of that sits in the middle. But the majority of the world is opening back up, and they're doing good because, well, leadership, like Alicia said. Let's not pull any punches. So where the sleeper move is you get your people together and you call up the house club in Japan, right? And you say, like, look, when I'm in the U.S. and I'm doing my parties here in the U.S., I'm good for 10, 20,000 people. I do all these major venues. I was one of the original creators of XYZ. This is how we roll. Would you be interested in bringing me in? Because they have the technology in their clubs with the large screens, and I mean hundreds of large screens. The screens are made there. You roll into A-Life in Japan, I swear to you there's 200 TVs in that spot, right? So you basically get a gig to stream in to there, right? You don't have to go because you can't, but it doesn't mean you can't play, right? And most people, your connectivity issues requires calling Spectrum, Comcast, Xfinity and be like, bump me up to the next thing, right? And even if you only need it for the day, you can actually call them and be like, hey, I'm doing this thing. It's an international move. I'm working with Japan. I'm going to have a lot of local people watching too. This might be a good advertising opportunity for you. Can you put me up to because it's just a flick of the switch for them. 9 times out of 10 requires no equipment, no nothing, right? Yeah. It's like, I need you to put me up on the next highest package this particular day at this particular time because I'm doing this event. And, they'll work with you if you make the effort. But not most people bother even to ask.
So, it's a great idea. I mean,
right?
who's really thinking open, about it
so
out
don't
of the box
DJ
like
at home.
that?
Like DJ to the world. Go call these venues that are open and be like, can you bring me in virtually? Can I pull the Tupac Coachella 2016?
Yeah, it's a great idea.
And you can. It's not that hard.
Well, you might be onto something there, Doc. Seriously. I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, a lot of the guys here have been using is it La Nocturne? Is that what it's called, Alicia?
Yes.
So they've been using that as a streaming hub for the most part. It's a nightclub. And had they even opened or had they just opened? What's the background on them?
No, they're not open at all. They just
No. But I mean, had they opened the doors before COVID? Were they in business like doing parties, or were they in the process? I thought they were in the process of building this place, and this is like what happened to them. So
no, they were a working functional club and having events and everything. They've been in existence for a while, but like I spun there for Ron Carroll, and it was strange because they got the owner is now like a sound director guy. He's got a whole booth with all these different camera views and everything. Yeah. And the lights going and everything. And I literally had to visualize the club being full. Yeah. Because it was empty. It was just Ron, and hey,
well, Defective has done the same thing. Defected had, like they had 2 people dancing or whatever, trying to keep the social distancing or whatever. And you had the DJ. Another guy here in Chicago, AV Max, which is a really nice store. I don't know if you've been there yet, but Bob, really nice guy, and they rent out, like, I'll call it like renting booths to DJs to come in and live stream, because maybe they're in an apartment in the city and they can't make the noise, so they can actually come in there and buy an hour or hour and a half, whatever amount of time they want, and he sets up 4 or 5 different booths in there for them to go ahead and play, and streams it out for them. So he's got like the roll-in switcher. And, he that was one of the ways he stayed creative and stayed busy during the, when everything was closed down. And he's into it. I mean, he's got video walls. So he's got like an unbelievable video wall. And then he's got, a few TV monitors and stuff. So, you can set your stream up to be really huge with him and do it like all out, or you could probably just do something a little more on the basic tip.
See, this is why I love talking to you. You always give me such great ideas. Thank you, Scott. I'm adding you to the bill on that one too.
Okay, cool.
She just busts out her pants.
Well, if you want to do that, he's asked me to come in there and do a stream. He actually offered me like do you want to do this for me as a promotional thing? And I said, I would, but let's wait a couple weeks. I was going to probably do it in August with him. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I'll put it out there right now that we could do that together if you wanted to. And we could make that night happen, and I'm pretty sure Bob would love to do that. It'd be great promotion for his store. Right. So I think we could make that happen. And if you guys are DJs, we are not a sponsored entity here or anything. Although Doc did get a super chat, so thank you to, was that Terrence that sent the super chat, or who sent it?
That was Ty.
Okay, Ty. Well, thank you for the super chat.
Big
Doc, you'll be depositing 50% of that in my Swiss bank account shortly.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm holding my breath. All right. No, that helps pay. Guys, believe it or not, this actually costs us money every month to do this. So if you would be kind enough for a super chat or a donation, it's greatly appreciated, of course. And more than that, we just appreciate your being here and being a part of it, because this is your show. And if you guys have questions and Q&A, Alicia is here to answer questions. If we've got some female DJs out there, they may have some different questions than we might typically get or whatever. But Alicia's here. She'll answer questions. Guys, if you don't know Alicia and you haven't seen her, she's a badass DJ. She knows her music, man. She turns me on to some songs. She's turned me on to some of the producers. So, she rolls with the big boys, and she hangs with them. So she's a great DJ and a great person and a great spirit. So that's what I love about you guys. And, Doc, just the same for you, my friend. Very talented. So if you have streaming questions, guys, Doc is very tech savvy. I mean, he'll talk to you about Cat 5 wire if you want, or Cat 6 or Cat 7, whatever it is this week, and how many feet you can have in your streams and everything else, because he knows all that stuff. So send your questions in. Put a Q in front of the question in the chat box, and we will answer those questions.
So let me speak to any female DJs that are out there right now. I had a great opportunity. I was referred from Lady D, who is like one of my idols. I love her. I love the way she carries herself and business acumen and everything. She's just great. She referred a young lady named Alicia Greco to me, and Alicia has... And I'm not just talking about her because her name's Alicia, even though that's a great name to have. But she...
So she spelled it correctly is the next question that Doc would answer if Sean is pronounced or is spelled out correctly.
She has a most wonderful SoundCloud page in which she takes a mix from female DJs, and she showcases the mix and the DJ's background and where where we came from and our mentors and that kind of thing. And she showcased me on her SoundCloud page yesterday. It's called the Daisy Chain, and I think I was like 123 on the Daisy Chain. So if anybody's listening and you want to check that out, or you want to hit up Alicia Greco, that's a great thing. It's a great opportunity for any female DJs that feel like they're not getting gigs or whatever, but they need to be heard. So I feel like that was a great outlet. And thank you to Lady D and Alicia. That's how things work. You network with people.
That was great that you mentioned her. Who are some of your favorite female DJs, as long as we're on the female subject, Alicia? Who do you like? I mean, who do you follow?
Let's see. Erica
Not to put you on the spot. Okay.
Erica Kane, Lady D, Lori Branch, of course, Miss Nikki, that's one of my besties. But we have like completely different styles, and they put us together a lot, and we tag team. And so I was like real aggressive with my play, and Nikki is like laid back and soulful. And when they start putting us together all the time, but we kind of we do record for record. I don't feel like a tag team is 3 for 3, because you're just doing a 3 record set. We talked about that
because you do your battle every week. Yeah, we talked about that. So
record for record. So we did record for record, and she kind of broadened my horizons, because, if she plays something soulful, I have to make it flow, if we're doing a tag team. So I think we bounce off each other, and we make each other like 100% better, just by tag teaming together, because you got to be able to go with the flow.
I think that, guys, if you have never done that before, we used to do that in the club back in the 80s. We'd be at BBC, and, we used to have, more than one DJ at the club, of course, not during the course of the night, but, guys would come in and watch other guys spin for the night or whatever the case may be. And we used to go up there and go record for record. That was fun.
It is.
This
fun.
is what I'll play. This is what you play what you want. And we just go back and forth. It was a lot of fun. And it's a great way to get better, because you will be playing out of some records you don't know, or you may not be familiar with, and you may be seeing a reaction to something that you haven't seen before. So it's a great way of expanding your scope of music, I would say. I mean, that's why I always love going out after I worked at the clubs. I mean, I love to go to the power plant. I love to go to the music box or whatever and see what a different crowd is reacting to, and see what, other people are playing, and the response. I think that's your best DJs, when they're aware of everything that's going on, where they're not just locked in one spot, tunnel vision, like, well, this is the crowd I play for. I know this record works. I listen to a certain radio station. This is it. But you'd be surprised sometimes when you find those records that, like, what was that? Oh my God, did you see the response to that record? And you're like, I don't even know about that record. And it happens to all of us. And it's like, mind blown. I mean, I'm sure for some of you people that are out there, if we had said mirror dance, or if we had said hey hey from Dennis Ferrer many moons ago, you'd be like, what? And then if you saw the response to those records, you'd be like, holy cow, what is that record? I got to have it. It's not just the cha-cha slide, Well, hey, Casper's my guy, man. He's
I was
here in
going to say,
Chicago.
no disrespect, Casper.
That is, in my opinion, that is the greatest party record of all time. And this poor guy never got the credit for it. This thing's on commercials, on the Super Bowl and everything else. It's played in every stadium, at every sporting event, and Casper never got the credit for that. And he certainly didn't get paid for it like he should have. Right. That man should never have had to work in his entire life after creating that record, and that's not the case. And he still comes out. He's still a humble guy. He's still a good dude. I had the privilege of working with him at V103 because he did a stepper show over there. And, it was cool because he'd come in the building and he'd have some new versions of that thing, man. And he worked that thing. And you ended up getting some stuff that nobody else would have. And, that's always a beautiful thing as a DJ, when you got that record that nobody else has and everybody else is going to want. So, that was cool. And Casper's a great guy. And, I'm very proud of what he's accomplished with his music career. And I don't think anybody's going to top that in a long time.
It's funny. I just recently watched this thing about the Kim Craft 400, and like how they all absolutely hated the version that eventually became the stadium version that everybody loves. And for years, they got nothing for it. Like, they was working really hard. It took them a while, but they eventually got some licenses agreement. But even still, like, the version that's probably the most popular, they don't get full license agreement. And I shouldn't say they, because actually that was a single person, really, from the Zombie Nation. Sounds like a lot of people.
Yeah.
There was one dude.
Yeah, it's Kerncraft 400 Zombie Nation.
Yeah,
so
it was really
you guys know the song if you hear it.
Oh, everybody knows it if you go to
any sporting event. Can't play it or we'll get a copyright strike.
Any sporting event, that song, but it's funny how that happens. And, it's weird that all of the capitulations and stuff we're going through right now with streaming and takedowns and all of this stuff like that, yet in the industry, something like, Kerncraft 400 or Cha-Cha Slide can happen. And, it happens all the time, to be honest with you. Those are just two of the many, many, many tracks that have been completely jacked and let's say
Unlimited, Tag Team. I mean, we can just go down the list.
Yes. Misappropriated by the powers that be, that if you took their stuff, they would murder you in a dark alley.
I mean, Casper ended up having to change his name on that record. It wasn't Casper. It became Mr. C because copyright issue. Somebody owned the rights to that. And MCA, I think, ended up with the record or whatever. And that went round and round. And he had to change. What were the original beats? I forget. It came off a CBS record from back in the day. I forget what the original, and it was more of a house groove back then. And it just escapes me at the moment because I don't have my music in front of me. But, that was the original way it was, doomp, Dudump.
Oh,
Dudump. Plastic
Dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what that record was built off of. And then it was so successful, it had to be recreated and put into another version in order to get legal.
Even Kimcraft, that was from a like Nintendo game that sucked. But after it blew up, and then he got into controversial licensing fights with people over the remix, the Italian remix version, which is what everybody really knows. Then the game guy was like, "But hey, wait a minute, that's my that comes from the game." And then so that's why it became convoluted and it went all over. And yeah, it's crazy. we pretty much have some extremely archaic, like, sort of copyright and fair use, situations around. And again, the people with the biggest pockets pretty much always win, no matter what.
Yep.
So.
Well, how do you think all the hip hops, if we go back and look at the 90s when house music was popular and the old school hip hop had gotten popular, it was all samples of house records and records from before that were, basically house records turned into hip hop records.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that really built that genre. And then all of a sudden the lyrics started to change and they got a little more aggressive. And I saw a post on Facebook just the other day, and they were asking, I think the question was basically, how do you think the music took a turn for not the better in terms of lyrics and content and everything else and became degrading and all that good stuff? And, I basically said, I blame the artists and I blame the record labels for it, because it's not the radio stations. They're not the one that are putting the music out and agreeing to sign the artists and pay them for that music, or giving them, maybe too much freedom to be able to do some of that stuff. It's like, well, you got to put my record out. I'm hot. And they're like, okay, well, we'll try it. And yeah, they make a bank load off of it because it's popular. But, I don't blame the radio stations, because the music's being brought to them. They're being asked to play it. And I can remember spending many, many hours in the production studio at GCI cleaning up just about every record that came in that we were going to play had something that had to be, taken out or eliminated altogether or whatever, or possibly not even played. There were a couple records I can remember playing that we played them because they were so big. And if you heard the version we were playing, you'd be like, I don't even recognize that record because you've taken everything out of it. It's like instrumental beats at this point. So, it's been a crazy time period. And where do you think the change took place, and what is going to take to bring the music back to something that's a little more friendly? Our society is in turmoil at the moment, and I can't imagine that that's going to bring friendly lyrics anytime soon. So I think you're still going to see a lot of anti-social messages being, delivered, and it'll be popular. So your thoughts?
Well, what always comes up in this conversation is the lyrics were, like you said, edge or grading or griming or whatever, but I'm from the hood. We were speaking our reality. That wasn't it wasn't made up. That was literally our reality. So I say to the people that didn't like that, don't make it our reality. Treat us fair, pay us correctly, give us the proper living conditions, and we don't have to drop F-bombs every 5 seconds, because that's the reality we live in. And nobody ever talks about it from that angle. It's okay,
Right.
Chuck D, my bad, Chuck D. I know you have, and
for sure.
I know that Talib Kweli and a couple other cats have spoke on it, but that was 110% our reality. If you came to enter DC or enter Chicago or enter New York or what really blew it up, Crenshaw, Flossin, San Fran, even Oakland for Sheezy, the Thizzle dance, like, all of that noise, that's reality, bro. That's the absolute reality. So if the dude in Tennessee can talk about his wife leaving, stealing his car, and now his dog hates him, we get to talk about the coke, the crack, the prostitutes, the rats, the roaches, broken glass everywhere, people pissing on the stage. I just don't care.
Yeah.
That's our reality. So if you want it to be clean, don't treat us like shit.
And it might, I was thinking that when you were saying that, it might, while we turn it around to make it more positive, this is not the time to make it more positive. It might get a little bit more grimy because of what we through right now.
I don't disagree.
Look at the Rage
when I
Against
saw
the
that, I think it was
Machine
more
comments.
directed to the female. on the Facebook post than anything that, was degrading to women or whatever at the time. And that's why I wanted to, bring this up a little bit and talk about it, because it was a big post.
They did the right thing. They fought back. Majority of females came out. They came out hot. 88 to 2002 as a dude, he was getting worked in music. I'm not saying
just
that,
by Missy alone. I'm not Missy saying, and Little Kim had you.
I'm not saying we didn't deserve it, because we did. But the female artists, your Beyoncés, your Missys, your Little Kims, of the world, they stop. You know what? Take this then. If you want to be like that, let me show you how it's done. Missy is my hero. I absolutely love her.
And she threw down. She's got so many great records. She's got one even recently that was playing in the EDM community, believe it or not. It was playing on Diplo's Revolution, if you can imagine. But it's Missy. She's a legend.
Missy, Erykah Badu, legends. Absolute legends.
Absolutely.
The greatest thing I ever seen in life was Erykah Badu in concert, standing 2 feet away from her. Yo, she is, oh my God, what a queen. Absolute queen.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Instagram? They wanted it so much to be a battle. They wanted the black women so much to hate on each other. And it was Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. And they were just kind of loving on each other and talk about each other's accomplishments. And it was 100,000 people watching. And they were disappointed because they thought it was going to be a cat fight.
Aren't those two a little bit of the house community? I mean, come on now. Jill Scott's got so many great house records. Erykah Badu, that's been in the dance community too. The remakes and everything that, you can't get over on our house music community, because, that is a peace, love, and harmony group. It really is.
It is.
Because no matter what, I mean, the house community has always been a positive and loving community. And, that's one of the beauties of the Chicago house community, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and
so
we are very.
The mix that I put out on the Daisy Chain, it was, I wanted, and I intentionally didn't, because, I play classic, I play Afro beats, I play whatever, I don't pigeonhole myself to one style of house music. Yep. But I intentionally put that mix together to make the listener feel like they were taken away, on an island, on a vacation, wind and sea, and I'm coming to Hawaii. Doc.
Hey, I got you. I got you.
But see, Doc, this is why it's so easy for me to get such great guests on this show, because all I do, Doc's in Hawaii.
Doc's in Hawaii.
Doc's in Hawaii.
You can come anytime. Well, right now you might get stuck in the closet for 14 days, but hey, we got.
Do you have a quarantine over there for people from everybody from every state, or is it vary by state?
No, when you come in, you have to stay in your joint for 14 days. And then so this is where a lot of folks is getting in trouble, because they think they're going to be slick. They're going to come in. This recently happened. This girl, Instagram influencer from the PI, she came through and she got in a little hotel. And then the next day she's out and about and she's, Instagramming or whatever. And what was so crazy, her viewers were the ones that snitched on her. It's she's setting a bad example. She knows she's supposed to stay her butt in the house, and she's young, she's 22 or something like that. And, she had a pretty big following in the PI, and it was no, man, you need to stay in the spot. You making other people, get the bad impression that they can buy this cheap ticket, because of course tickets are cheap right now, and go to Hawaii, and you putting all of your Hawaii fans in danger, and you putting all the, they call it the tutus and the kapuna, the old folks. You putting all the old folks in danger while you're out here doing your thing. So her own users or fans, so to speak, they snitched on her. And so now she's sitting up in jail with a $5,000 fine.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that there was a couple down south. Don't quote me on the state, but it was somewhere down south. And I guess they basically refused to sign quarantine paperwork, and they ended up with an ankle monitor. They basically got house arrest. So, I mean, they're not playing. I mean, it's serious stuff, folks.
We have these folks that come here for 3 to 6 months because they're chasing away from the winter where they live or whatever. And then so those people are fine because of, the 14 days lockdown, no biggie to them. But you got cats come here with an 8-day ticket. And it's are you going to quarantine for the 14 days? And they be yeah, I'm just going to write a novel. I just needed a quiet spot to be. and then they don't even have a computer in their luggage, and they let them in, and then they get caught trying to buy a pizza, which is kind of funny to me because we have crappy pizza in Hawaii.
You got to eat.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Got to eat. You got to have pizza. You're on vacation.
I mean,
Come on now.
I'm the
You
guy
know
from
that, Doc. Got to have pizza.
I'm the guy from the East Coast.
Can't go a week without pizza.
And I love me a Chicago deep dish, even though I am from the East Coast. So I can tell you right now, Hawaii has horrible pizza. We got one.
All right, so deep dish or thin crust, Doc? You're from the East Coast. What's your pick there, my friend?
Thin crust.
Lou Malnati's?
I like thin crust.
Oh, he likes thin crust.
I used to like deep dish, but
I like deep. I like Lou Malnati's.
I used
like
to love
Art of
me a
Pizza.
deep dish, but then I decided if I wanted a calzone, I eat a calzone.
Is that what that is?
Yo,
calzone?
Chicago people about to hate me. Yo, I'm gonna come to Chicago. I'm gonna get my butt kicked at the airport.
All right. Well, you need to come to Chicago and get some real deep dish, because if you're eating calzone, that is not how our deep dish is.
Look at
we
Doc
don't have crust on top.
Doc has lost us all of Michigan, and now all of Chicago is lost.
Yep. We're going to be moving down south shortly for this show. We're going to hope that the southern people will embrace us down there, and we'll bring the house music with us. And
hey, I like the Black Hawks.
What are we thinking? Are we thinking like Tennessee, or are we going down to Texas?
Yes, but you guys come out here and we pull the pig out the ground, and then you can be like, oh, where has this been my entire life? That's why I'm still here.
I don't know that I'll ever get to Hawaii in my lifetime. I don't get to travel that much, abroad. So I mean, that's not abroad, but it's a long trip.
I was like,
my wife doesn't like to travel. She won't fly. So, the last time she got on a plane was like before 9/11. So she won't fly anymore. So it's, I'm stuck, man. I've been to Vegas a few times for hockey tournaments.
You drive to LA, and then you get on the boat, and then the boat will bring you here. You don't got to fly.
So what is that? 4 days to LA in the car, and then how many days on the boat to Hawaii? How many days is that?
Dude, I drove across the entire country in 3 days. How the heck does it take you 4 days to go to?
Okay, so 3 days. I'm just saying 3 days, 4 days. I mean, I've driven from the state of Washington to Chicago when I was touring, and I could do that in 2 days.
There you go.
I did that in 2 days.
That's your 2 days, and then you go to Washington too.
If I had my wife in the car, it might be 4 days.
Oh,
Doc,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
because
I gotta pee.
I'm the one. I start drinking that Diet Coke and listening to house music. I got to stop every 15 minutes.
Yeah, but see, guys, we're lucky. We can just use anywhere on the freeway. We can get out and use the bathroom.
I know. It's so unfair.
Yeah, girls gotta go.
It's called the exit. It's called the exit ramp. In case you guys out there don't know, it's the exit ramp. Okay.
But
all right. Well,
definitely,
anyway.
you come out and then we introduce you to some Kalua pig and some haupia and some other good Hawaii food, and then you won't leave either. You'll be just like me. You'll be like trying to get a condo. Like, hey, I'm staying my butt right.
Hey, believe me, I would love to live somewhere where it's warm. I mean, if I didn't have my business in Chicago and everything going here, I'd be out here in a heartbeat.
That's what did it for me. My first year here, I went somewhere to eat lunch on Christmas, and I was like, it's Christmas. I'm walking around in tank top and shorts. I ain't never going back. That was the end.
I don't know about that tank top. I don't know about the tank top, Doc, but the short pants, I'm down for.
Dude. I was 17.
Yeah.
I looked good in a tank top then. Right. Now you won't catch me dead.
I got the jorts on. I wear jorts, everybody. That's my thing, is cutoffs. I've always got my denim, so I do the jorts. Jean shorts.
He did not just say jorts on this
Alicia's
show.
looking like, he crazy?
Like
he crazy? What are you doing?
He just said jorts on our show. I thought next thing Scott going to be like wearing jeggings.
Shorts. I'm trying to hip you on the lingo. I'm trying to teach you the lingo here, okay?
I know what it is.
I'm coming to Hawaii. Doc, I'm here. I've never heard of that. He's teaching me too, I guess.
Shorts, yes. Coined from the Levi's company, probably.
Probably. Oh, see, now we in trouble. You just got us a copyright strike for talking about the jorts.
Copyright strike because we mentioned Levi's? Okay. Well, I like Levi's.
We only wear board shirts around here because at any given moment you got to be ready to get in the water.
Right.
So
that's a nice way.
Everybody has amphibious clothes, or they have in the truck or the car or whatever you got some ready to get in the water clothes is in the car, or extra something because you got to change. And and the water here is. Oh,
yeah, see, I could live like that. I can
good
live
though.
like that. I'm gonna need to check some things out down there.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to start to wrap things up a little bit here. So first of all, Alicia, thank you for being with us. What's that?
I hear music.
Yeah, I'm playing it.
Oh, okay.
You playing music?
Not even house music. See,
you scared me.
I gotta play that non-copyrighted music. See.
Hey, Epidemic Sounds. All of the people that you know that have created records in Chicago, you can just get it released.
I know.
Call them
I
up.
should.
Like, hey, we're going to play this. And
all right, Alicia, you got any records for me we can play on these shows? And Terry, so we can play copyright free?
Well, one record you can't play because it's explicit.
Okay. And you don't have an instrumental version of it?
Doc, I'm going to send it to you. You're going to be like, yep, it's explicit.
That's explicit.
Hey. Hey,
exclusive and explicit.
My favorite club record to this day, just because of the way it would erupt the crowds here in Hawaii, is whenever we would play Akaneli, Put It in Your Mouth, clubs here would lose their mind. And so that's a record you can never play in your car because somebody might pull up to you while you got the window down. But yeah.
Why you nod like this? And I definitely can't play it.
Yes, for sure. That'll get you arrested.
Yeah, my joints. I got some joints on Track Source that I co-produced with Mike Dunn. And he's super producer. So
he's awesome. Awesome. Mike's been doing this forever. Love him.
He's super producer. So I got 2 joints with him, and the Black Widow did the lyrics. Spoken word. She got so many hats. Spoken word artist, music artist, blogger.
Well, you know who else become a super producer? Steve Maestro, man. Steve Miggity Maestro's put out some really great records lately. I just got another one of his today. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. It was sampled too. I loved it. Yeah. I mean, it was I think it was a Fleetwood Mac sample. I was like, this is killer. I just love it.
Great thing about Steve is that he lives on the next block from me. So I'm at his door like,
there you go. You tell Steve I said hello. Steve is one of the reasons I ended up back in radio, believe it or not. I don't know if everybody knows that story, but yeah, Steve is one that kind of brought me into WGCI after a long time out back in like 1996. And I got on a mix show with him, and then Steve decided to finally, kind of check out for a while, and that landed me in the station. That's how I ended up doing production and staying in the radio for well over 20 years. So I owe Steve big time for that, and he's a good friend, and he's good people. And, I think he's just a super talent. And now it's showing with the music production that he's doing. He's not only a great DJ, but he's a great producer. So hats off to you, Steve Miggity Maestro, if you're watching.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
Two more. I'm working on 2 more productions with DJ Immaculate. So stay tuned for those. As soon as he gets done touching those up, those will be out.
And give us your Twitter or not your Twitter. Give us your Twitch handle so people can find you with your show, and it's called Back to Back.
It's called Back to Back, and it's twitch.tv/DJ Alicia. You gotta spell it out. I like to spell it out because there's another Alicia in LA. So mine is DeeJayAlicia.
All right, guys, subscribe to the channel. Help Alicia out.
Yes,
subscribe to our channel. Join the DJ's live streaming on Facebook. And also, please join us on Facebook. Join us on Facebook. Join us on YouTube. Click the subscribe button. Click the notification button. And we will see you again next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Chicago time. From Hawaii, my man, Doc Rock. Take us home, buddy.
Hey, thank you guys so much. Don't forget you can find us everywhere. I'm Doc Rock. You can find me anywhere at DOCROCK. And we'll see you again next week. Peace. Fa. Safua.
Peace out. All right. Thanks, Alicia. We'll see you. Bye, Doc. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. I got to remember to do this.